it's finally time to do the final Mega Evolution of the Kanto starters for a solo run speed run. And to finalize it, we are going with Mega Blastoise, saving, I would not say this is the best for last, but or at least what I thought to be probably one of the slowest actually came as a surprise to me. So Mega Blastoise, if we take a look at the stats here, right? It's got insanely high special attack, base 135, and it's got really solid bulk, 120 base defense, 115 base special defense, and it actually has pretty decent physical attack, being 103. The HP stat and speed stat are its lowest stats, and even they aren't like that low. 78, 79, that's literally not that bad. 78 is enough to just outspeed most Pokemon in a normal playthrough anyway, so I was pretty happy about this. So Mega Blastoise's ability, Mega Launcher, obviously it boosts the pulse attacks, and there's only 2 pulse attacks that Mega Blastoise gets, but that's really all we need because it's half our moveset. There is Water Pulse at level 28, which is a very nice buff. So essentially you get upgraded from Bubble to Bubble, which is I think base 50 base attack, and then you have Water Pulse, which is base 60, but with the Mega Launcher boost it becomes a base 90 attack. The thing is though, while we would love to utilize Water Pulse as our main attack, we actually kind of do use it throughout the whole game, but Surf actually does the same amount of damage as it, and I'd say it's slightly better due to being able to hit multiple Pokemon at once, and there are a few double battles in this game. I say few, but there's only Tate and Liza and the Horde battle in a team hideout, so it's not a huge deal. I think at some point in the middle of the game I had both moves. Essentially you have 2 moves with the same base power, and they're both water type special attacks, stab anyway, so it helps conserve PP to help boost that speed. So I've been really thinking of how I should be formatting these videos. I guess I can just try and go through some of the gyms in important areas. I also want to think that, so as you can see in the top right, I have my live split showing the big, I guess, time splits, the big moments like the gym leaders and then Primal Groudon Kyogre. But I'm thinking I should actually be adding more splits to this, because there are a few important battles in between some of those moments that I think deserve to have a split to it. So I think after I'm done with this video, I'm gonna go and update those splits by manually typing in the time and saving it like that. I've really never used live split too much, so we'll take a look at that. But anyways, as we start off this run, obviously first up we have is Roxanne, and Roxanne isn't too much of an issue. I think I did make some slight hiccups. If there's anything slightly different, then this is kind of be a similar time to Mega Venusaur, especially at the start here where we're both really strong against Roxanne. If anything, actually I think Mega Blastoise does a little bit better against Roxanne due to her nose pass, but somehow I ended up beating her at around like 2.6 seconds slower, which I'm not really too sure how to happen. I think I just had some hiccups on the way, made some mess ups with the maneuvers, which is a bit tricky sometimes when you're going at 3 times speed. It's very easy to just bump into walls and not smoothly move, but at least for this time we did catch up and surpass a Mega Venusaur after beating Brawly due to just having a much easier time beating his Pokemon. Because at this point in the game, I think we might have gotten Bubble, but I think Bubble and Water had the same base power. But it was still in our better attack and stat. While at this point in the game, I think Mega Venusaur still only had Vine Whip and Takedown, so it really wasn't doing that much damage. So at this point, after beating Brawly, we were actually 56.8 seconds ahead. And I'm also going to be mainly comparing, I might have mentioned it, might have not. I'm mainly comparing this against Mega Venusaur due to just, I feel like Mega Charizard Mega Charizard X is just extremely faster, while Mega Charizard Y is extremely slower due to me just being so much more inexperienced. So that time is like really awful. And then Mega Venusaur, I feel like more or less is kind of similar to Mega Blastoise, at least in the start of the game. But later in the game, there are some key differences, and huge things about Mega Blastoise is, after doing the research, I was considering we can use the Heart Skill to get Flash Cannon from the Falibor Town, the move tutor, and then we can also get possibly Toxic was something I was considering, but eventually I think I decided not to get it because you do have to go out of your way and it's not that necessary with X items. I did want Toxic, that's the TM, mainly just for Wallace, because Mega Blastoise doesn't have that many moves that actually deals much damage, especially to Melodic. But then I realized that at that point in the game you can buy X items, and while I usually don't like using X items, this is trying to get as fast as possible, so I was like, what, might as well just utilize it, especially since his first Pokemon is a Love Disc and it's not really pressuring us, so we have plenty of time to just set up. So that's kind of what I did for that. But right now we're going to get to, I guess, a rival here. The main problem about the rival this time is Shroomish. Shroomish actually kind of beat me the first time. It's not a very pleasant experience. It's just, yeah. Due to just, I think at this point in the game, I didn't really have any good moves. I only had Bite and Tackle. So the Shroomish was kind of just stun sporing, leech seeding, flinching us with headbutts, and overall we don't have that many good healing items either. So at some point we just couldn't last anymore. And second try, I had to use one of my two cherry berries that I wanted to save for Watson, but eventually, yeah, I was able to beat the rival there. And next up is Watson, which, you know, is probably what people assume would be the hardest challenge for me. But luckily, I think we get the Bodos TM for this gym, which you can buy at the Pokemart in Wallville City. And by utilizing Bodos, it's a lot simpler. So for the Magnemite, we first use any attack to bring it down, to break the Sturdy. And once you break the Sturdy, then you can just click Bodos, and you can kill off Magnemite, and then Magneton also dies to 1. And Volt Switch just doesn't do enough to actually kill us, so we weren't too threatened by it. And Voltorb also just dies to 1 Bodo, so it really wasn't too much of an issue. I guess we're just lucky that Blastoise also learns Bodos at this point. If not, it can also learn Power Up Punch, but obviously Bodos is definitely the better option against 2 of his Pokemon that are 4 times weak to it. And then at this point, you know, we reach the point we can technically use the move tutor, but someone forgot to do that, and that someone is me. So I forgot to get Flash Cannon, but I did realize that I didn't really need Flash Cannon, because every single move Flash Cannon hits that we want to use it on, we have other moves for, because it hits rock types, it hits fairy types, it hits ice types. But at the same time, it's just like, as nice as the coverage it is, it's not completely necessary for us, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I did just kind of feel bad for forgetting about it. Oh, I guess I also forgot to mention we beat Watson like slightly slower, like the gap between Brawley and Watson, we went slightly slower, I think mostly due to losing to rival, but we still 29.8 seconds ahead of Mega Venusaur. And then for Flannery here, obviously, I feel like I don't need to mention this too much, but obviously Flannery just died to water pulses. It really wasn't an issue, just one shot everything to no one's surprise, and I think this made it a lot more faster than yeah, it did. Well, I got to Flannery and beat her much faster compared to Mega Venusaur, so at this point I was 2 minutes and 14 seconds ahead of it. And next up was Norman, and I guess the biggest slowdown for Norman for Mega Venusaur was actually the Delcatty. There was a Delcatty gym trainer that just it just took a really long time to kill for Mega Venusaur, but for Mega Blastoise really wasn't an issue. If there's one thing I super regretted about this gym battle against Norman, is that I didn't teach the TM, because Blastoise learns protect by level up, but I was trying to go as fast as possible and I wasn't really thinking. I guess what was going on in my head was, if it's not a move I had planned for my final move setting, I don't need it. And it was also like, why do I need protect anyways? What do I need it for? And then I fight Norman, I just realized, wait a minute, if I had protect, I wouldn't take any damage from slacking. But yeah, I make the mistake here, and so I get yawned by slacking and get hit pretty hard. Luckily, take out the first slacking before I fall asleep, so Vigorot comes in, it doesn't do as much damage, but we do have to deal with the slacking. Though we did buy hyper potions in advance, so it wasn't too much of an issue with that. Norman was down. We still 2 minutes 36 seconds ahead, and then the biggest time saver was Winona, since Mega Venusaur obviously struggled insanely hard against this, but we did not. We also beat the Weather Institute significantly faster, due to just not having to worry about Golbat anymore. So after beating Winona, we were 9 minutes 21 seconds ahead. Tay and Liza was an issue, and then the big battle was against team leader, aka Maxi, which when Mega Venusaur fought Archie, I struggled a lot due to it was mainly the Mightyena taunting, embargoing, and then there's the Crobat, there was the Muck, and then Sharpedo also kind of outsped. It was just a whole lot of mess for Mega Venusaur, while Mega Blastoise really wasn't an issue. It kind of just took out everything in one hit. So we easily surpassed that. And I think at the point of beating Primal Groudon and Kyogre, I was 24 minutes and 53 seconds ahead, which is insane. And we went back, obviously got some X special attacks and took on Wallace, so we just popped it on the Love Disc and it easily swept through him. So we were able to beat that, even though I thought it'd be much slower. We did take an extra 1 minute due to having gone to the department store to buy it, but we still 24 minutes ahead. And then finally we have the last section, which is fighting the champion. But before that, we had to go through the Elite Four, and I did struggle with Sydney for the first time. Luckily, if I was going to struggle against any Elite Four member, it was better to struggle on the first one. I also forgot to mention that before this, I also did finally get enough money to get Blizzard. And I think before Tate and Liza, I got the Dark Pulse TM, so we also have that. And so by putting everything together, the main thing is we had to hit Shiftry and Cacturne with Blizzard, especially the Cacturne, because Cacturne has Leech Seed and Leech Seed Spiky Shield. So if we don't get that, we end up taking a significant amount of damage that we really do not want to take. So after I think a few tries of that, making sure of trying to hit that Blizzards, I was able to finally get that in one run. And this time Phoebe was literally no issue, since we do have the Dark Pulse. Since we have Dark Pulse and it does significantly more damage, so we don't have to worry about the first Cyclops doing stupid shit to us. So with that down, Phoebe was down. And then it was time for Glacia, and I think for Glacia, I actually used my last remaining X special attacks that I had left over from buying extra against Wallace, and I knew I kind of needed some of that for Glacia, since she did have Warrens, and Warrens are insanely bulky, and I wanted to get through fast. And then next up was Drake, and Drake, while I thought it was going to be super easy, I almost choked it due to one of his Flyguns having Screech, and it ended up using it on me. And then the Salamence came in, Dragon Rushed, and it ended up doing over half my health, or not even over half. It did it almost one-shot me, but luckily I was able to land Blizzard. And looking at my time, I was like, I cannot lose now. I really cannot lose now. But then a Flygon comes in, spams Earthquake, and it's doing over half my health, and I'm like, I can't let this happen. Luckily, seeing that a critical hit does not kill me, I just spam potions, because I had enough potions, and I just used up all those potions until he ran out of Earthquakes, since you only get 10 Earthquakes. So then after running out of Earthquakes, he just went for Dragon Claw, and it did less than half, and it was my chance to actually kill it. At that point, I just did not want to lose anymore, because I was going at an insanely fast pace. Kingdra comes in, puts us to sleep, but it's fine because I use a full heal, and since it only has special attacks, it doesn't really deal too much damage to me, and we are finally able to beat Drake. And then finally, our last challenge is Steven. So this time I don't need to use any X items due to just Aggron not being much of an issue for us. It doesn't do too much damage to us. However, the problem here is his Cradily, because Cradily, we can't really kill it except with Blizzard, but we had to land 2 Blizzards in a row, and that's not easy to do. And I say in a row because he uses Giga Drain to heal up his health, so every time we miss Blizzard, he gains back a bunch of health with Giga Drain, and if he puts us too low, we have to use a potion, which then he gets an extra Giga Drain for. And at this point, I was extremely scared of dying, since he had also Confused Ray that confused me while using Giga Drain to heal himself while doing insane amount of damage. And then eventually I ran out of Blizzard, so I had to use a Leafeon to restore that. And it was just a complete mess where I was panicking, I was freaking out, I was locked in because I did not want to lose to this guy, especially since we were so close to getting such a good time. And eventually I got lucky with this, and I landed 2 Blizzards in a row, ended up taking out the Cradily, and then proceeding to take out the Aggron, our model, and then Mega Metagross comes out. It tries to go for Giga Impact, but it misses. Perfect. We go for Dark Pulse, it does over half, and it goes for Giga Impact, it lands, but it doesn't do enough to actually kill us. It does over half, so we get in our Dark Pulse, and then we finally take it out, Mega Metagross, and with that we beat Orez at a time of 1 hour 42 minutes and 36 seconds. I'll be honest, this was a lot faster than I expected, since I just thought that Mega Blastoise, since it didn't have any setup, it would struggle a lot more with some of these bigger fights here, but no, it actually did significantly better. I think part of this is because I was just playing the game better at a faster pace, and just making shortcuts, just playing around the game as a whole better. And if you're wondering how this compares to all the other Kanto starters, this is actually the fastest time so far. It beats Mega Charizard X by like 30 seconds. Mega Blastoise beat the champion at 1 hour 42 minutes and 36 seconds, while Mega Charizard X beat the champion at 1 hour 43 minutes and 14 seconds. And then we have Mega Venusaur, which went over 2 hours at a time of 2 hours 9 minutes and 37 seconds. And then we have Mega Charizard Y, who beat it at a time of 2 hours 36 minutes and 10 seconds. Eventually, some point, I do want to redo the Mega Charizard Y, but not now. And so I want to do a total of 10 Orez solo run speed runs before I move on to X and Y. So I did a random Pokemon generator to decide what my next ones are going to be. And so, as a little gift to everyone watching, I will tell you my next 6 solo runs for Orez, and it's the following: Leafeon, Mega Sharpedo, Crustle, Magnezone, Stunfisk, and Mega Altaria. So I hope you're looking forward to that, because I think it's going to be extremely fun. Thank you for watching. I look forward to those. Follow my Twitch so you can watch it live, and see ya.